Now the term lock in just means to intensely focus or commit to something that you actually want to do, overcoming this challenge and then improving your performance. So in this video we're going to quickly discuss a few players that need to lock in this season. And I think one player that really needs a wake up call is Darwin Núñez. Last season Darwin Núñez got 11 goals in 36 Premier League games, and this was all as Liverpool's sole striker. There was no competitiveness. Darwin Núñez had no one to fight for that position, yet he played so bad last season that Jota had to become a striker. You saw Liverpool with this makeshift front three throughout the entirety of last season, and I think a lot of the reason why Jurgen Klopp was tired is mainly due to the fact that he wasted 60 million on a striker that has not provided him with anything. He has one goal for Liverpool this season, with the one goal coming against Bournemouth. And I'm not someone that outwardly likes to critique players, especially strikers, because in this modern market there are few strikers that we can actually call world class. But a few seasons ago Darwin Núñez was getting compared to Haaland, as Haaland and Núñez's purchases both came at the exact same time. With elite competition in that Liverpool attack, he is going to struggle to actually maintain a spot this season. And if he doesn't buckle up his ideas sooner or later, it's going to be make or break. The current footballing world doesn't have patience for players that can't adapt to their surroundings. So if Núñez doesn't start to put up some numbers this season, he could be out the door by next. And we all know that the potential is there because there have been scenarios and situations where Núñez has been unlucky. But football is about consistency, and even if you aren't scoring, you have to be offering your side something, especially if you're their only striker. Now staying up in this area of England, we have to talk about Marcus Rashford. It feels like just yesterday when Marcus Rashford broke into the scene and scored against Arsenal, putting his name on the map and being one of these young promising stars that we would later see flourish. But over these years we've seen a rocky turn of events for Marcus Rashford's career, with more of a focus on what he does off the pitch than on it. And I don't think it helps that he's been stuck in this Manchester United system that hasn't been stable. And with this lack of stability in that Man United side, Marcus Rashford's form has been erratic. But football fans know that Marcus Rashford was the truth, stepping up in the big games when Man United needed him. He's someone that I think genuinely needs an arm around his shoulder, someone to really guide him in the right direction. We also saw glimpses of his world-class potential back in 2022 to 2023, when he mustered up 30 goals in all competitions that season. But so far this season, in a struggling Man United side, he's mustered up one goal. And it's especially bad because this attacking force is now reliant on him when it comes to his offensive output. He is no longer this young prospect, with guys like Garnacho, Diallo and Højlund all chomping at the bit to get a piece of Marcus Rashford's legacy. And if he doesn't start putting up numbers this season, then again, he could be out the door. And I don't think this situation is going to end well, especially with Ten Hag at the wheel. I think maybe if Man United get rid of Ten Hag and they bring in a new manager, they could get the best out of Marcus Rashford, because I know that that latent potential is there. It just needs to be unlocked. Now, from one Man United player to a former Man United player, we have to talk about Paul Pogba. Now I think we should all know this by now, but Paul Pogba's ban for doping has actually been reduced, with his 4-year ban being chopped down just until March next year. This means that the potential for Paul Pogba to revitalise his career is there. And for someone that rated Paul Pogba throughout his entire career, this is exciting. Now Juventus have made it clear that Paul Pogba will be a free agent in March 2025. And this opens up the door of opportunity for so many teams to inject some experienced playmaking ability into their team. Because let's not forget, Paul Pogba is one of the best on-ball midfielders of all time, playing key roles for the likes of Juventus and France. We know that this guy can flourish. And even during his failed stint at Man United, he still put up some good performances. And I think Man United are just this tainted club that curses players' careers. Because how many world-class players have gone to Man United and failed? It is a pattern. If he locks in a good transfer in March 2025, he could revitalise his career and be back. Because I know for a fact that this guy is still capable of dominating midfields. Because there have been a finite amount of players with this stature and that playmaking ability and that lightness on his feet. Paul Pogba will be back. You know, I'm betting on it. And I'm not a betting person. I don't even believe in betting. But Pogba is gonna come back. Pogback. Yeah? Now let's talk about someone that is best friends with SpongeBob.
Happy birthday, SpongeBob.
Gabriel Martinelli, my left winger, a guy that I cannot hate, is struggling. and it's clear to see. In the 2022-23 season, Gabriel Martinelli had an outstanding campaign, getting 15 goals in 36 appearances, establishing himself as a key player in this Arsenal side, holding down that left wing spot. But since then he has struggled, and I think we all know why. Off the back of that amazing season, we lost Granit Xhaka, a vital piece in that Arsenal side. But upon the introduction of Calafiori, it seems like Martinelli is getting his groove back. And I think it's because Calafiori is offering similar traits to Xhaka, providing an effective overlap and underlap and also a defensive shield. So if Martinelli does get caught on the counter attack, someone is there to back him up. If you watch Martinelli, you know that his work rate is impeccable, but the output is where he struggles. But with 2 goals since the start of this season, there have been sparks in his play. And I think if he really locks in for the rest of it, we could be having a double-figure season from Martinelli, especially with competition from Trossard and now Sterling. You'd be lying to say that his career is written off. And in terms of writing players' careers off, no one is doing it better than Bayern Munich right now. In terms of locking in this season, I was not going to forget to talk about Upamecano and Kim Min-jae, 2 defenders that joined Bayern Munich off the back of amazing seasons. Upamecano being a boulder in this RB Leipzig defence, leading them deep into the Champions League. And Kim Min-jae for Napoli, who dominated the Serie A. But it's like ever since joining Bayern Munich, they have turned into absolute sludge. 2 slugs in this defence that keep getting ridiculed time and time again. These 2 defenders don't have the pace to keep up with players running in behind. So why are we implementing such a high line? And under old managers and the new manager Vincent Kompany, they just can't find the right system to get the best out of these world-class potential centre-backs. If these 2 don't start locking in some performances, it's going to be wraps for them. Because I don't want to see Eric Dyer starting for Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Just the other day, Ollie Watkins had these guys on toast. And it's strange because Bayern Munich's defence was seen as such a still object in football. Now, they're looking awful, and I still have big questions to ask of Vincent Kompany. Because why after bringing in Paulinho from Fulham are you not starting him? This guy was one of the best central defensive midfielders in the Premier League for like 3 seasons. Defensive stats to die for. You buy him and you don't start him in front of this fragile defence. Bayern Munich have problems and it's overshadowed by their position in the table, but you will see. And these 2 guys are responsible for a lot of it, but this bold-headed fraud, I'm telling you, he's going to be exposed soon. Now last season Phil Foden won the Player of the Year award, but this season it's really not clicking. And I really don't put a lot of the blame on Phil Foden. I just think he's just disrespected in this Manchester City side. Because what else does this guy have to do to start? Because Foden would start for the majority of clubs in football. And that is just a fact. We have seen it time and time again. People write him off, say that he's overrated, say that he's a luxury player. But no. The talent is there, it just needs to be unlocked and unleashed again. And with having a bit of a slow start this season, people are calling for his neck already. But me? Nah, I'm not doing that. I ain't jumping the gun and saying that Phil Foden is done. Bars. He's got 1 goal and 2 assists this season, and with players out for Manchester City, I think it's time that he steps in and says, you know what, you guys needed me, I'm here, I'm about to take over this season once again, linking up with Haaland. Now Kylian Mbappe really doesn't have anything to prove. With a World Cup and multiple domestic titles to his name, what else is there really to achieve? But that is the mentality of someone that doesn't know their true potential. We all know that on his day, Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world. But after struggling in performances for Real Madrid this season, it's like his spark is just gone. And I think it's way harder than it looks because he put a lot of expectations on himself. He has entered a Real Madrid side that has already got standout players that are holding down clutch moments for the team. Unlike when Ronaldo joined Real Madrid back in 2009, they didn't really have the guy. Of course there were ballers at the club that had already made their legacy, but Ronaldo wasn't coming into a side that had promising players that were already taking over the game. And he can't fulfill his potential because Vinny's not moving his position on a pitch. They occupy the exact same zones, but do you really think Vinny Jr., who has held down that left hand side for Real Madrid for like 2-3 seasons, is going to be like, you know what, let me go right wing because Mbappe wants to float left? No, it is just not the same, and it is a clash of auras.
And you are now a vulnerable victim, and you are a bad representation of common sense and logic.
The only real option is if Mbappe steps the hell up. Decides, you know what? I'm playing this striker role like a striker. I ain't floating left no more. I'm holding these central areas. I'm dipping into midfield, picking up that ball and running with it and scoring myself because I've had enough. That's what this guy needs to do, and he has every capability to do it. And don't start sending me penalties. I don't care. A goal is a goal. I remember this time, it was a Market Road tournament. So basically you make your team, you turn up to this pitch and there's like 50 teams there, and you just go through group stages, and then it's quarters, semis, and then finals. Me and my friends at the time, we made this team. We're on this winning streak. Yeah, all of us, we're kind of decent ballers. We're winning. We won against the team that, you know, the one team that plays in all Columbia kits. We reached the semi-final. We beat some academy ballers. We get to the final. We're playing real dons now. Yeah, real dons. I got someone from Arsenal in goal. You know, you got someone from Ipswich playing left back. Bro, 7-a-side. It's 1-1. It goes to penalties. The final of the entire tournament. Penalty 1, goal, 2, goal, 2. All these goals. Then it comes to me. Yeah, it's my penalty. Last one of the game. If I score this penalty and they miss, we win the whole tournament. Yeah, we win the whole tournament. If I miss, we're out, by the way. I step up in these little 7-a-side goals. I hit the crossbar. Bro, that was not even 1% of the pressure that actual professional footballers face. Yet in this 7-a-side tournament at Market Road, with all these, you know, players around me saying stuff, I couldn't do it. Penalties are not easy. Yeah, let's get over that. Shout out to the story as well. But yeah, those are the footballers that I think need to lock in this season. Suggest any other footballers in the comments below. And of course, if you're not locked in this year, then you need to. Yeah, lock the hell in and get any work that needs to get done right now. And of course, stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.